And hello there. There is a great relief that you can experience by realizing that all is perfect right now. Now, let me explain that because it's very easy to think that's a bucket of crap. That you can only say that if you're wearing rose tinted colored glasses. If you've got your head in the sand. If you're completely out of tune from reality, or if you've locked yourself in a cave for a year, right? So it's a very bold statement to say, and yet there's a divine truth to it, of course. However, let me take you through it step by step so it actually makes sense to you. Not as in like I want it to make sense, but how it can be your living reality. It's very, very easy for all of us to judge everything. We can judge ourselves, your weight, your looks, your background, your nationality, how you speak, how you sing, what you wear, the color of your eyes, how many teeth. I mean, you can judge everything. We can aim the judgments at ourselves very, very easily based on perhaps our culture or even the magazines or what's trending right now. Years ago, oh, there's one way the fashions were years ago, and then it swings to another way, and then you watch it, and if you're really caught up in it, you're just constantly running around behind fashion and either changing yourself or what you wear or reinventing how you look to catch up with the latest models and looks, and otherwise you're you're unfashionable and you're a fuddy-duddy, right? Um, or you just don't care. So there's one thing about judging ourselves. Very, very easy to do. How about let's judge the world? Very, very easy to do too. I mean, there's the state of the world, as in like the pollution, the environment, overpopulation. Then there's politics, and all the news of what we're hearing with the different countries and what they're all going through and what rules are happening and changing and who's mouthing off about this and that, but also how it's been delivered to us, like the news reporters. Do you favor those news reporters over those news channels or not? And where are you getting your news from? And then there's also even just public opinion about all these things, which is very much on those free social media platforms, where then you can get caught up on people's arguments about certain things. So there's a lot of stimuli. And there's a lot of opinions that are being thrown at us, which makes it very hard for us to have our own. You believe you do, but it's all influenced. Because if it's not actually happening in this room right now, I'm listening to someone to hear about it, and then I'm influenced by how they've delivered it to me, right? So if it's not happening right here, right now, it's actually information given to me, usually very much through other people's filters. So then what is truth? And see, that's how you actually can come to change your own relationship to everything based on your truth. Now, imagine if you took out all those influences and you did actually hide yourself in a cave or in a very remote part of the world for 5 years. So you were very much deconstructed from how the world influences us. Probably you will never do this. So this is just completely hypothetical. But if you're not up to date on political affairs, current affairs, state of the world, overpopulation, horrible weather conditions happening in certain places, you weren't up to date on fashion. You weren't up to date on if being big is the fashion or being slim is the fashion. You weren't up to date on having big eyebrows or little eyebrows was the fashion. If you that just wasn't influencing you, and then you were just able to just live in this room and in this environment, in this neighborhood, in this countryside. without much influence, you would simply just be living your life. It'll be very simple. Maybe you work around the foods that you need, or maybe you work around the lifestyle that you're living, but you're kind of like disconnected from these influences. What would then become very important to you? What would become very important to you is simple survival, living a good life and eating and exercising perhaps, or doing what you need in the environment that you're in. My point is, your state of being, your happiness level will not be conditioned to these trends that I started off this video talking about. It would be very simplified and very much personalized. I'm happy because I got up and looked at this beautiful color in the mountains and decided to go for a walk. And while I was walking, I felt good. I found some fruit along some natural berries in the forest, picked some flowers for my table, and just enjoyed sitting outside with the sunshine on my face. Like your happiness scale would be not influenced by people and things, it'll be influenced by what you're doing right now, who you're being right now, what's in your environment right now. So we bring everything back to this moment. And we actually learn to live in this moment, in the environment that's around us. And if you're not influenced by trends, then that picture's fine. That couch can last until it rips. You don't have to keep recovering it depending on a fashion or a look. It then becomes practical for its use, and it's fine. So you become more simple, you slow down, you connect. It's funny, when you get faster and faster, you disconnect. When you slow down and you actually enter into this moment, you completely connect with your world, with your environment, with yourself, with this presence, this magic of living life, this purpose of living life right now. And so that becomes more important than doing, changing, keeping up, being trendy, being popular, being, I don't know, opinionated with global affairs that are happening millions of miles away. Instead, you connect to what is and what brings joy and what brings life, what brings purpose. That's what you connect to. And that becomes primary. So my point of this video is to say that should still be primary in all of our lives when we then start to enter into the dynamicness of life, worldly affairs, and all the stuff that influences us in this modern age, which is probably social media and the fastness of news and digesting the same information but said 20 different ways through 20 different filters and 20 different opinions, right? So we don't find our truth out there. We can be lightly finding our way through it all, but our truth now rests here in my desire to connect, to experience, to be truthfully here in myself, in my life, to what matters, which is that experiencing of joy, um, the experiencing of now, this knowingness that my life purpose is happening, that I'm connected to that and not disconnected. So I'm not running in this search for something else. I am actually connected here first in this knowingness that everything is, and then life is changing or unfolding from there. Now, the difference is night and day. The difference is, running disconnected, trying to fit in, trying to argue, trying to work it all out, feeling disconnected, feeling lost, feeling fearful about things versus no fear, yet presence, connection, love, beauty, joy, ease. And then the game of life being witnessed and you playing your part in that from clarity, from lack of fear, from knowing every day is complete and full within itself. It's completely different, guys. And so it really is realizing that you can live this. And so that's why those words, being present, recognizing who you are actually very strong statements because you can actually, through meditation, learn what takes us out, learn to see all those influences and what we think about and how that drives us crazy and fearful and living in time and fear and anxiousness of the future of what's coming, what might come, what we assume could come, what we expect. And then when you release those ideas of expectations, of assumptions, um, of being pulled in that anxiety, when you release that, what's left is where you live in this moment, in this anchor of presence now, in this simple clarity that all is fine now. And it's not rose painted glasses, rose tinted glasses. It's actually clarity to actually be grounded and real rather than a crazy a crazy lunatic that's caught up in the mind judging and worrying and future bashing and you know anxious about something that hasn't even happened. So then my message today is for us to actually realize the dance we're playing in all of this and how you do have a choice and how you can actually fall into this experience of being connected and in love with life, no matter what's going on. And then you see where you react or you jump into fear of the future and get wound up emotionally about opinions, about people that don't even exist in your life right now, but because that they're in the media, you believe you know them. And you start to just really see the silliness of all that and the game all of that is. And that if you just let go and let it all be, life right here now is way more important. And it should be. Your life, your happiness, your day to day, you turning up for what you do, your purpose is way more important than getting all flustered and upset about something that might happen in 2 years' time or on the other side of the world or something. Like, live your life. And it's not burying your head in the sand. If you feel that you having a very strong connection and opinion about certain things, well, then act on it. But why try and convince other people of that? Your opinions are your opinions, just like their opinions are their opinions. Like, don't waste time, but trust you and do what you need to do from you being connected to Source, to this moment. Anyway, we're all going to do it differently, which is why I love humanity because we're not the same. And just enjoy.